Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Leo. This is your message for November 12th through the 18th. Today we're going to get into past, present, future energies. We're going to dive into it and find out what we need to know. We're going to get some advice and overall energy to confirm everything. And let's find out more. Today I am using the Pulp Tarot for you today, the Wisdom of the Oracle for your overall energy, and the Power to Surrender cards for additional messages. Check the description box. Check your monthly reading, weeklies, and dailies for more information. Anything else, check the description box. Thank you for joining me here. Let's get started on your message. The cards are always, for the most part, shuffled before I start the reading. So that is our signification. One card to split the deck. It is the Seven of Swords popping out. You see it in reverse. We'll take it upright. You see it as sabotage. It's actually deception. Oh, you're actually still giving them the benefit of the doubt. Oh my gosh. Well, at least this card won't show up in a reading. Now the cards are split. Let's get into your past energy first. Page of Cups in reverse. It's moody. Emperor in reverse. Ooh. Aggressive, selfish, self-serving. Could be a little bit narcissistic. Could be self-serving, if I already had said that. Seven of Cups in reverse. Fairly emotional energy here. Someone feels stuck. There's mood energy here. With the Page of Cups, usually it's fairly fresh, exciting, heart-opening. Here in reverse, it's almost as if it's kind of stone cold, passive-aggressive, immature. With the Emperor in reverse and the Seven of Cups in reverse, someone can't change their circumstances. It could be because they're relying on others to do it. We're going to clarify more after we get the rest of the cards. It is past energy though, so whatever it is, it's impacting the now. So we have the current energy, the Knight of Pentacles. That's slow energy. This is careful and cautious. This is meticulous and dedicated. This is someone who's not just going to go into it just for a fling. Magician. We got Aries, Aquarius, maybe a younger Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Maybe a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I like this. You're focusing on your money, on your coins, on opportunities, on big windfalls, on getting ahead ultimately. I do feel like you're manifesting something. I feel like you're doing it very strategically. I feel like this manifestation is more of a long goal instead of just like, I want this now. The sheer fact that you can focus on the Ace of Pentacles while manifesting and taking things slow tells me you've got it really good where you are. And you're trying to protect that and vet people around you so that that's not shaken out of your life. Ace of Wands. Now, to have an ace right after another ace, this is magical. And if we're saying magical and we see the Magician, it tells me you had to go through a particular perspective change within yourself in order for everything to start taking place and happening now. Wow, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, I told you I did shuffle the cards. The Chariot is in reverse, though. Okay, so you're releasing control and just allowing things to happen as they should for you, not in the way that you want it to. So that means you're living your own life. You're happy with it. You're enjoying it. It's like you've created the dream, or you're working towards that here over the course of the next week, and you're going to actually start seeing the bigger picture of that. But only once control is released. So there's something that had happened and really impacted you in a particular way, where you took your control, in essence. And that control is in and around your own life and decisions. Then you had to release control of the outcome. And because of it, you receive the ultimate outcome, the Ten of Pentacles. But it is after much work, dedication, and effort. You may be trying to prove something to someone who has come before you. And it's like, well, if they achieved that, I must be able to achieve that. I'm getting a little bit of energy around, what's that word? Nepotism? Where the energy of, like, say an adult, well, I wouldn't want to say it that way. I was like going to say an adult star. I'm like, actually, it's not what I mean. I mean a celebrity or someone who's achieved some level of fame or some level of recognition and is passing that on and living in that shadow of what's come before you and the expectation of, oh, well, just because they did it, you could do. And it's like, wow, man, like, they're starting from the complete brand new and with bottom, but there is an influence around them, so they have a little bit of an advantage. But I do see the releasing of the control. Like, this is very, like, you know, Lenny Kravitz's daughter, I think it's Zoe Kravitz. It's a little nepotism going on. She's a really good actor. I feel like she's got some musical talent. And it's like, when she releases the control and releases the expectation of her father and just settles into who she is, we already know what's going to happen. The flourishing and the thriving of her in her own authentic reality. And that's what's going to happen for you. I was just using them as an example, in essence, to tell the story. So you're manifesting a dream life. And this is what's going to make them jealous and why they're so upset, and why they would have tried to bring you down, because they've seen this before you ever seen this for yourself. I'm also getting truth teller vibes. You're someone that they never wanted to have recognition, because if you got recognition, then their reliability or whatever it is has gone down the drain, and that's too revealing for themselves. It strikes a chord within themselves that means they have to change and grow, and that they don't want to do that. They want everybody else around them to do that. So leave them in the past where they are and continue forward, because I don't see that energy in the past. I see a lot of releasing control. Okay, so then overall energy using the wisdom of the oracle for my lovely Leo, November 12th through the 18th. Flexible is in reverse. Oh, I don't take these cards in reverse. It's flexible energy and community. I like this. So the overall energy of this is tuning in to those around you, their needs, wants, desires, not in a people-pleasing way, but in regards to providing solutions and allowing opportunities to line your pockets, which is not a bad thing. Because of this, you become revered and regarded, and you create the life of your dreams. So because of this, maybe your world was very, very small before and you only thought of yourself, or they did. But as time went on, in the current moment and into the future, the perspective is shifting, and you're realizing, I can't get rich off of just focusing on myself. You gotta focus on everybody else, because how many more dollar bills are in those pockets compared to just mine. And so when you start to problem solve, you start to understand that it impacts other people and it benefits them in the way that they need, and it lines your pockets. Now, this is also like an example of like I'm getting very interesting vibes of like when a man provides for a woman and she's happy. He's not trying to run around or play games and run up, and she can feel safe and secure. She's only going to tenfold back to him, in essence. And do you know what tenfold is? Tenfold is like an actual, you go tenfold, twofold, hundredfold. They all mean something. And the fold essence of it is, I think it's like multiplies by 100. Let's go with 10. Tenfold means, because there's 100-fold and all that stuff. Tenfold either means 10 times as much or as great of composed of parts. It is used as an adjective, a tenfold increase. An example would be the population grew tenfold. So grew by 10 times as much. So if there's 100-fold, 100 times as much. What other versions are there? Tenfold meaning versions? Is that like an option? Versions. The term tenfold. So it would be like, the multiplication would be from 50 to 500. So, whoa. So right now, our subscribership is at 22,000, 21,000. Let's grow by tenfold. Add a 0. Oh my gosh. I have dreamed of that, but it's just like, you have to be a completely different version of yourself in order to get to that point. And that's not a bad thing. It is something to work towards. What does 20-fold mean? 20 times as big. So 100-fold, 100 times as big. So I do feel there's something increasing greatly here the moment you release control and surrender to what the universe really wants to bless you with. Like, there's something magical here for you, okay? So then what is the challenge for all this? What is the challenge for Leo? 10 of Cups. Family. I know that always makes it difficult. It's kind of like, well, maybe you had to move away for work, or you were not able to see your family as much, or the challenge is that your family means so much to you that you would do everything for you, that you're so giving and self-sacrificing because of it. We got the Queen of Wands in reverse. Oh, this is a codependent energy in regards to the family, but it's not negative. But with the Queen of Wands in reverse, could have chosen a better card to explain that, but that means that with this Queen of Wands in reverse, there's something around being, well, it would be shown differently. It would be 9 of Pentacles instead of the Queen of Wands reverse. So it was a positive. Because it's Queen of Wands in reverse with the 10 of Cups as a challenge, that means there's an over-attachment and a lack of something within self that says you can't without. So the universe is about to give you something brand new. Completely brand new in your life. This could be like, you go from Wyoming or the Twin Cities or some really normal life place to like, okay, it's time to move to Hawaii. And it's like, wait, are you telling me that I can work for the Grand Wailea in Waikiki? Holy moly. That could be like my life? Yeah, personally myself, I would never move to the United States. I would only travel there. But to work there would be really cool. It would literally be life-changing. But then if you're really so familial attached, and it's like you had Sunday night dinners together all the time, and you had board game nights and fire pit gatherings in the backyard, and those are just amazing little close pastimes between you and them. That would be so hard to let go of in order to take this opportunity, but this opportunity will, again, tenfold, hundredfold increase. So you can literally, maybe, for the most part, depending on how this manifests for you, this is going to be great. But put in a little bit of effort now to pay for the whole future in the future. So it's almost like you may be able to set your people free from either Monday lives of the rat race, or a deeper meaning in which you more resonate. So then, what is the outcome of this message? Now, you could be thinking again of Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aquarius. We've got Aries here, Cancer energy, maybe Sagittarius as well. What is the overall energy? Oh my goodness. There's a big cold and sickness going around where I'm at right now. And so I'm just literally like staying afloat and not getting sick from it yet, considering everybody's like getting sick around me. So that was just a sneeze, but it's still related to that sickness, which is super interesting. I'm keeping it at bay. But with the 10 of Wands here as your overall energy, this brings quite the struggle. But with this struggle, it's not something that you can't handle. If you can get the double negative in that one, it's something you can't handle. You are strong enough with this 10 of Wands. And this 10 of Wands is here because you're asking how much more, how much longer, when is it my reprieve? When can I, when can I, sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor? And you are just a little bit longer. By the end of this week, you'll be able to start seeing everything start play out. This would be like being completely broke for so long, which would be very interesting because it wouldn't have involved your childhood, because we didn't need money like that unless there was a different situation with your parents. But in this situation, it's almost like you've been away from that for so long, and you're in your own zone and in your own lane, and you're making your own life stable. But here you went through a period of time when you were in your growth phase, and it was a little bit of a struggle. It'd be like going to university and not having any money and not even able to work because you have to study, and then it's like you gotta pay your tuition and all that jazz, and student loans, and you have to make wise decisions, and can't just spend money, and but it's boring otherwise, and so you need to have some fun. And so it really feels like here you want to know if it's going to pay off, and it's going to. Okay, this is something that will require a lot of effort up front, but in the end be so worth it. Okay, you're able to sit back and enjoy this. Here's the outcome of this message for Leo. 3 Swords. Heartbreak. It's almost as if you're seeing as the sacrifice isn't worth it, and you just want to drop it all and just change your life completely right now. It's like, no, it's not worth it. This money isn't worth it. I need to do something different. That's what it really feels like. And so it might actually be you finding a new opportunity that's actually more in alignment with yourself, that you actually care about more. What is the message advice for my lovely Leo? That's surrender to what is. So if you're feeling this energy, there's a reason this is coming to the surface. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Your body knows something that maybe you're purposely ignoring, and we may not even know what that is yet. Surrender to receiving support and love, and surrender negative thinking. So this is almost like being super unsure of what's going to happen ahead of you, being kind of excited at the same time, and needing to realize that this particular moment in your life is going to be an actual memory where you'll look back on and be like, if it wasn't for that particular moment, we really wouldn't be where we're at today. And it's kind of like you gotta thank those in your life that really fumbled you, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have realized how good you have it for yourself, by yourself. And so allow this awakening to settle into you and allow yourself to surrender that negative thinking and understand that everything's for you, is going to be for you, and will happen in the way that it needs to. And there won't be any resistance around it either. Okay? So that's your message for today. Thank you so much for joining me here. This was a long one for you, Leo.